On Monday, a joint agreement was announced between St. Ambrose and Mount Mercy University, which will lead to more opportunities for undergraduate and graduate students at both campuses.
And this week's What's the Buzz, SAU Weekly's Dave Girgenti has more on this ongoing partnership.
Thanks, guys. Joining us now is Dr. Joe Roidt, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs here at SAU. Thanks for being here, Dr. Roidt.
My pleasure.
Walk me through this partnership between SAU and Mount Mercy. What can we expect from this collaboration?
Wow, that's quite the question. So right now, we've basically agreed to two things with Mount Mercy, right? The first thing is that beginning in fall of 2024, we will enter into a fairly robust course sharing agreement with them, right? And what that means is that, to start at least, we'll be making some of the courses we have available here are available to Mount Mercy students and vice versa. It won't mean that students will just have a pick of all the courses that both institutions offer. We're trying to build capacity in this space, but students will be able to enroll in some courses at Mount Mercy campus, or Mount Mercy students will be able to enroll in some courses here. Beyond that, we're in the process of finalizing an agreement that will sort of provide a comprehensive package of pathways from undergraduate degrees into graduate programs. So right now, St. Ambrose students, if they meet certain criteria, they can enter some of our graduate healthcare programs after they've completed 3 years here. What this agreement will do is essentially will extend some of those same opportunities to Mount Mercy students. And Mount Mercy has a portfolio of graduate programs that we don't have. So they have a Master's of Nursing, they have a Master's of Marriage and Family Therapy Counseling. And so we're looking to have them develop those same sort of pathways into their graduate programs that would be available to St. Ambrose students.
Okay, so trying to have students kind of get the best of both worlds.
Ideally, yes. And then beyond that, we are exploring what would be a more extensive strategic combination, right? That has not been finalized yet, and there's still a lot of work to do. But were that to come to fruition, then we'd actually be looking at more of a full merger of the institutions over time. And even if we were to elect to move to that space, that's something that still, because of regulatory and accreditation regulations, would still be something that wouldn't come to fruition for at least another 2 years.
Okay. So aside from that, what are some of the goals or benefits of collaborating with Mount Mercy?
Well, I think, I mentioned the graduate programs, but one of the attractive things there is that we really do have complementary programs for the most part. And so we're not sort of competing with one another, but we have that opportunity potentially for us at some point in time to offer some of our graduate programs on their campus, and for them to offer some of their graduate programs on our campus. So in that sense, collectively, we'd be able to expand our market share. The reality is that despite our proximity to one another, we don't have a lot of students who cross app, right? They draw the majority of their students from the corridor that they're in, sort of the Waterloo to Iowa City corridor and west, and we draw most of our students from the Davenport area and into Illinois, right? So we haven't really been competing with one another, so if we were to come together, we don't really see a loss there. Beyond that, of course, we see the possibility for realizing lots of efficiencies. So if you get to the point where you can have a main office here, we'll use the example of the registrar. We could envision a point at some point where all the transcripts, right, all the grades would be run through sort of the St. Ambrose office. They'd still have a registrar's office there, but people would really be there to help students, right, and not necessarily have the responsibility of maintaining transcripts and records. And then you can extend that to offices like financial aid as well, where we could envision St. Ambrose serving as sort of the hub with services offered through Mount Mercy.
Exactly. So that's kind of the reason we chose to do it with Mount Mercy as opposed to another institution.
Well, I wouldn't say there are a lot of reasons that I don't want to say we chose Mount Mercy, but if we go back in time a little bit, over a year ago, the college presidents of the 4 Catholic universities in eastern Iowa got together and had some preliminary conversations about, collaborative opportunities, whether there be opportunities for them to share particular back office functions or benefits or things like that. And for a number of reasons, the conversation between the 4 presidents really didn't sort of pan out. But out of that initial conversation, Dr. Todd Olson at Mount Mercy and Dr. Novak here at St. Ambrose had some subsequent conversations, and for a variety of reasons, some of these are missional, right? We're all Catholic institutions, but the mission of Mount Mercy and the ethos of the Sisters of Mercy aligns very well in a lot of ways with the mission and ethos of St. Ambrose. So there are a lot of affinities between those 2 schools, and in addition, it's important to understand that both schools are pretty financially and academically sound and strong, right? And that's another part of the sort of the attractive partnership here is doing this proactively right now while higher education is facing a lot of challenges, but entering into an arrangement like this now or exploring an arrangement like this now before one institution is really struggling is really the way to do it if you can manage that.
Okay. So the partnership is set to begin in the fall. How will we see it be implemented? Will it be in full force right away, or will it kind of be a work in progress?
It'll be a work in progress, right? As I said earlier, we can't, not every single last one of our faculty is well prepared or well equipped to sort of offer one of the courses they're teaching in a hybrid format. So we'll be looking at, one of the things we'll be looking at this summer is sort of pressure points. Where are their needs? Where does Mount Mercy have classes? Do they have a demand for classes that they're unable to offer right now? Does St. Ambrose have a demand for classes that it's not able to offer? Are there opportunities for us to sort of supplement one another's offerings there? But then also looking at the faculty who might do that. Are they equipped? Are they prepared to do that? And how do we prepare them to do that? So we don't just sort of want to open the doors and offer courses that really aren't high quality. So part of this is going to be preparing our faculty to be able to do it and do it well. And we know that'll take some time.
Okay. So as you've been meeting with the cabinets of both universities, what excites you most about this joint venture?
I think we're stepping into potentially, right? I mean, there's still a lot of things to be decided, but higher education in the United States today is coming under a lot of criticism. It is struggling, right? We're looking at a host of factors that are making higher education more challenging for the people who deliver higher education. This is probably particularly announced among independent college universities, faith-based college universities. And I think that you don't want to say this is the solution, but certainly if we're able to enter into this venture successfully, I think potentially we become sort of a model, right, in terms of how do we sustain faith-based higher ed, Catholic higher education in a compelling fashion in the current marketplace. So it's fun or exciting, I guess you could say, to contemplate being a leader in this space and an experiment that other college universities might look to in terms of how they would sustain themselves.
I see. Lots of information, lots of good information. Thanks again for being here, Dr. Roidt. Good luck with all the work ahead, and back to you guys.